안녕하세요, 솔리입니다. 주말 저녁 잘 보내고 계십니까? 저도 이제 또 일주일에서 마치고 또 편안하게 게임도 하고 방송도 하려고 셜록 홈즈 켰습니다. 자, 그러면은 셜록 홈즈 오늘이 이제 챕터 5로 알고 있습니다. Q 왕국 식물원의 비극. 새로운 단서를 발견했을 경우 추리 영역 아이콘이 활성화됩니다.
Holmes, for heaven's sake, whatever's going on?
Oh, hello, Watson. You're early. Did you kill all of your patients?
What? Holmes, where have all these wretched bees come from?
I increased the temperature of the room so as to prevent them from hibernating. I needed to take a sample of honey.
어디야?
But it worked, Watson. We will have honey all year round.
Ridiculous and dangerous.
그러니까 이거 뭔데?
They're domestic bees, Apis mellifera, such industrious workers.
그리고 그게 있잖아.
Anyway,
침이 있잖아.
I am sorry, but I must leave you. I'm in rather a hurry.
You have a new case?
Yes, but nothing as thrilling as this experiment. A theft of plants at the Royal Botanic Gardens in Kew.
Q
I'm helping a
왕래범
minister who's an
식물원.
old friend of mine. You can join me if you like.
따라가야겠죠.
I'll admit that I'd far rather accompany you than remain alone here with these
와,
workers of
벌이.
yours. Besides, you'll need a helping hand with the flowers you're intending to bring back.
Watson, however did you guess?
For the great Sherlock Holmes to bother with the theft of plants. Come on, admit that you're planning to spoil your little bees with some rare pollens.
Since when did I become
왔음도
so
발전했네요.
transparent? Let us go.
Q 왕국 신문에 열린 전시회 당시 도둑맞은 신부를 찾으십시오. 명성 자원봉사자네요. 이거 뭐 어쨌든 이거 두 개는 제가 틀렸죠. 작살. 여기서
Well, I'll admit that I'd far rather accompany you than remain alone.
또 가고 이거 왜 있는 거야?
Oh dear, Toby. I wasn't aware that you were Watson's new literary agent.
아마 여기 또 그게 있어요. 이제서야 편지를 쓸 용기를 내게 됐어요. 내가 어떻게 모르겠는데. 제크 오키 코크. 평생을 함께 살아갈 순 없지만, 왜? 못 사는 거야?
This is where I keep my post.
아직 1년이 안 지나서 그런가? 홈즈가 1년 뒤에 온다고 그렇게 얘기했었는데. 이런 건 언제 열리냐? 아직도 안 열리네. 좋아. 갈색에다가 이거 못하네요. 이것도 못하네. 되는 게 뭐야? 8번. 8번밖에 안 돼? 다 안 되네요. 지금은 초기라서 그런가 봐요. 이 친구는 가자. 금방 할 수 있는 게 없고 추리 수집도 없겠지 당연히. 오케이. 아 이거 방이 생각보다 춥다. 방을 따스하게 할 수 있는 그게 있으면 좋겠는데.
Well, Holmes, here we are at the Royal Botanic Gardens. There's no doubt that this place is beautiful. But are you really intent on investigating the theft of the plants?
왜?
Yes, of course.
문제가 있나?
What are we doing, Holmes?
Let us find someone who could help us.
도와줄 사람 여기 있네.
Don't touch anything else, is that clear? Just go and get a bucket of fertilizer. And without turning it over this time.
젊은 친구 신참내인가봐요.
Good day to you, gentlemen. How may I help you? If you are here for a visit, please do come back on Sunday.
I am
혼자는
afraid
아닌 것
that it
같고.
cannot wait. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson. We are investigating the theft of plants that took place here 5 days ago. A remarkable collection, I believe.
So you're the one in charge, eh?
A small favor for a friend. Now, to whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
I am Martin Hamish.
부원장이구나.
I am the deputy director of Kew Gardens. And that fellow yonder is Albert. He works here.
I am delighted to meet you. What can you tell us about the plants?
They were rare and exceptional plants.
이게 안
We
거고.
presented them at our last exhibition. We haven't removed the stand yet. It is still in the large glass house. We only learned of their disappearance the evening after the exhibition, and nobody
목격자
saw
안
anything.
오고.
No doors were forced?
No, but I would imagine that for a thief it would be fairly easy to gain entry.
경비가
For there are no
없고요.
guards here.
Well, if you don't mind, we will take a look. Now, you say that it is in the large glass house.
Yes, the one just behind me. Just a second,
아하.
since Albert has nothing else to do. Albert, show these gentlemen where the exhibition was held.
How many people work here?
Only myself, but occasionally 2 students, Albert, whom you have met, and Miss White.
What?
Here it is. This is the place where the stolen plants were exhibited.
Thank you. Is there something the matter?
Yes, there is. All right, the plants were valuable and rare, but it seems to me that the tragedy that took place here only 2 days ago has been entirely forgotten already.
What tragedy are you referring to?
The director of Kew Gardens, Mr. Montague Dunn, he died here just 2 days ago.
책임자가 돌아.
We're very sorry. We were not aware. The two of you were good friends?
He was my father.
Oh dear. Our condolences. We should not be troubling you. Please do excuse us for the intrusion.
You say that he died here, in the large glass house.
Holmes?
Yes, just here, near the door to the colonial collection. He suffered a heart attack. Just like that. So suddenly. It was terrible. Excuse me, gentlemen, but I cannot remain here. If you need me, I'll be in the reserve. That's the room next to the front of the large greenhouse.
Of course, we understand.
네 명이네요.
What should we do next, Holmes?
일단 한번
What
쭉
should we do next, Holmes?
몬테규던 신문이다.
Here is a list of the stolen plants.
이 목록이고 좋아. 이 목록이고
These trees, with their roots in water, must originate from Louisiana.
Ah, yes. The
According to Albert, this is where his father, Montague Dunn, was found dead. Soil. It should have come from a flower pot. The soil on the side of this flower shelf is the same as that on the ground.
화분이 떨어져 있고.
Fragments of a flower pot. It fell down here.
또 있나 보네.
The traces are thinner in some places.
아, 발자국.
These boot marks are fresh. It appears as though
이건
someone
최근에
was
찍힌
dragging their feet. The footprints reveal that someone staggered here.
What should
왜 이렇게 이런 게 많니?
The door was smashed at shoulder height. This door handle is new. It was recently changed.
문이 부서질 정도로 밀었다? 이렇게 봐야 되나?
This pot was broken fairly recently.
아까 그거 하고
A
뭔가
flower pot recently fell down from these
맞춰주면
shelves
되지 않을까?
and was misplaced.
이거나? 이거.
The esconson was breached near the handle.
문이 억지로 열렸네.
The door was forced from the inside of the colonial collection room. The handle was changed afterwards.
I think we need to inspect the
식민지
colonial
식물관.
collection.
This sign is broken. Something heavy was dropped upon it.
여긴 그럼 조사 안 해도 되나? 일단 이 방 먼저 조사를 다 해봅시다. East and Randall Rising Sun. 동쪽 그리고 해가
Do
뜬
not
쪽.
touch.
The plants were here. All of them were stolen.
사망 현장. 여기는 조사가 안 되나?
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
건물마다 그런 게 있고.
Water lily greenhouse.
수상식물관. 좋아요.
According to this,
여기는 여기 어디? 여기가 어딘지는 모르겠네. 열대 쪽인가? 예전에 제주도 갔던 여미지 식물원도 이런 데가 있었는데 아무것도 없네요. 여긴.
Can I help you, gentlemen?
farmhouse.
재배용원실. 사람도 있는데 일단 이런 걸 먼저 쭉 보고 그 다음에 얘기를 걸어봅시다. 알버트. 얘 아버지가 돌아가셨구나. 깨끗한 손. 일한 지 얼마 안 됐나?
Do you work here?
Yes, but part-time
Ah,
only.
part-time.
I'm also studying botany at the University of London.
You're following in your father's footsteps, then that is commendable.
Well, even if botany is not my strongest suit, there are people who say that I could be a good manager.
친구랑은 소리 없지만 친구랑 이어받고 싶다.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
뭐야.
Excuse me, but I have to tidy up this room.
아버지가 돌아가셨구나. 다이오니아 가니버스. 정서가 불안하고 유난 편 아니고 응? 아무것도 아닌가? 이거는 아무것도 아닌가 보네요. 이거 여기서 나왔죠? 나왔고. 헬로? 하틴 헤미씨. 얘는 누구야? 영화 적 없나? 아, 아까 부원장. 값싼 근시용 안경. 더 표진 먹기. 일을 열심히 했다. 이렇게 볼 수 있겠죠. 미혼. 반대가 없으니까. 정은사에서. 정은사고.
Albert told us about the tragic death of Mr. Dunn, the late director of Kew Gardens.
Tragic indeed. His heart attack was quite unexpected.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
알봇, 마틴 헤미씨, 미혼. 정은사 일을 했고. 일에 집중하는 사람, 여성에 관심도 없고 평생 혼자서 살았다. 여성들에게 관심이 없다. 과연. 지도가 있다. 아까 여기 있었고요. 우리가 소상식
Lily Greenhouse,
여기서부터
Palm House,
여기 왔죠.
Director's Office, Cloakroom and Laboratory. Nursery,
널스리가 묘목장인가?
Colonial Collection,
여기서 일로 가면 됐었네.
Dry Tropics, Seed House, Ventilation System,
다 한 거
a
아니야?
map of Kew Gardens.
다 한 거 같은데. 아닌가? 아직도 흰 게 남아있지.
Reserve,
요주의 물건이 됐네요.
Locked,
지금 우리가 해야 될 게 식민지 식물관이니까
Locked, Nursery, Locked,
그럼 여기 열대식물관인가? 아니군요. 종자보관실 쪽이구나. 이게 생각보다 크네.
There is a smell of burning.
어디? 앞인 것 같은데 저 앞에 가기 전에
Locked,
좋아요.
Locked, Seed House,
여기 있고 환기장치
a water tank, a ventilation system. It should regulate the temperature of the staff buildings.
벤틀레이션. 일단 저리로 한번 가보자. 열대 식물관.
These flower pots are beautiful. They are intended to be used for exhibition purposes. The symbol is not from Kew Gardens.
응? 왜 이거 아니야? 셜록이 얘기하니까 여기 게 아니긴 아니겠지만
Dry tropics.
여기 이어지나? 저 문 있네요.
Water lily green.
위에 아까 처음 있던 거기죠.
According to this, they have light.
읽어봤고.
What should...
여기서 봤었는데 말이지. 아까 여기 뭔가 한 게 더 있어.
Blood. Someone fell violently against this sign, and they were injured in the clash. Most likely a head wound. All the clues around here are quite suspicious. I need my imagination to make sense of it all.
사망 현장 조사는 완료되었고. 잠깐만. 이게 문을 부셨다. 문을 떨어뜨렸다. 이렇게 해야 되는 거 아니야? 들어와서 화분을 떨어뜨리고 이거 아니야?
This reconstruction reveals a disturbing fact. Montague Dunn damaged the door of the Colonial Collection Room.
He was in a panic? Or the door was locked? Was it an accident? Or a murder, then, I wonder? I think we need to inspect the Colonial Collection.
이건 소재를 확인해야 될 일이고, 그러면은 여기서 지금 나가는 문이 여러 개가 있는데 이 문도 있고, 이 문이 갔던 문 같은데? 왔으면 비켜. 요 문이 이제 식민지 식물관으로 가는 길인가 보다. 인가? 여기는 근데 여기서 이렇게 온 것 같은데? 그래, 이거 읽었다는 게 여긴가 봐.
Very strange. Half of the Colonial Collection is absent. The smell is strong. It is
세정제.
a detergent. These windows were perfectly cleaned.
닫혀 있고요.
This broken fragment was the result of a heavy blow. A fragment of marble, most likely chipped from a statue or sculpture.
이건 어디서
Part of this
나갔는가를 봐야.
greenhouse was emptied and thoroughly clean. This is one of the outlets of the ventilation system.
환기구가 있고. 자, 그럼 이걸로도 추리가 된단 말이지. 시체를 부검하라. 오케이. 그러면은 경찰서에 있겠지? 이거는 집에 가서 서재에서 한번 봐야겠고. 서재를 보고 마라. 인물은 지금 2명을 만났네요. 알고르던 마틴 헤미쉬.
I asked Inspector Lestrade to take Montague Dunn's body to Scotland Yard.
It's ready for autopsy then.
부검 준비 끝. 자, 그러면은 한번 가볼까? 여기에는 명함.
A membership card for the London Crest Club. A beautiful feather pen of a good make.
웨인. 브루스 웨인. 인쇄업소의 소유주. 벽보. 전직은 언급할 필요는 없다.
This watch is of great value.
자, 가볼까?
First of all, let us carry out an external examination.
뭐를
There
맞았는데?
is an injury to the skull, most probably caused by the fall in the water lily greenhouse. The vessels and the pupil of the eye appear quite normal. The air from the lungs carries a faint floral aroma. There are no suspicious marks upon the chest. Let us finish our external examination so that we can proceed with the autopsy. The vessels and the air no redness, stings or bruises. Nothing suspicious here. Now, let us examine the internal organs.
오, 째는 거야? 다행히 단상이 돼 있네요. 아니구나.
The liver is enlarged. It would seem that he was suffering from an alcohol addiction. The liver tissue is brown. There are no visible pathological signs. The lungs are congested and edematous.
물혈과 부종.
The lung,
Oh.
the tissue on the inferior lobe of the right lung is damaged,
독분마.
most probably caused by toxins from an unknown plant. The heart's blood vessels show no pathological signs.
야, 홍준은 의술도 어느 정도 아는구나.
The heart tissue shows no visible pathological signs. The stomach tissues show no visible pathological signs.
뭘 먹었는지 알 수 있으려면은
There is a small amount of content. It appears that he breakfasted lightly, only a short while before his death.
그럼 폐에 있는 독분을 마신
Suspicions
것
have
빼고
been substantiated. Montague Dunn, director of Kew Gardens, died from poisoning, plant poisoning to be more exact.
You mean
Yes, It is murder.
We should inform Lestrade.
Yes, but do remember, Watson, that I discovered the murder. The challenge is mine.
The challenge, Holmes?
We need to locate that deadly plant. Such a perfect murder appeals to me.
Murder of any kind appeals to you. Is that all we need to do?
No, we also have the people working at Kew Gardens. Martin Hamish and the son of the victim, Albert Dunn.
And also Miss White, of whom we spoke to Mr. Hamish. Should we bring them all here for interrogation?
No. A few innocuous questions at Kew will suffice, as well as a discreet delve into their personal affairs. Yes, Watson, it is time now to open the doors.
Even those in the staff building? I suppose that is necessary.
We should also be concerned with the victim himself. After all, we don't know very much about Montague Dunn.
You're enjoying this already, aren't you?
More than a little.
맹독신문을 찾아라. 그러면은 일단 집에 가자. 집에 가서 집에 가서 서재에서 한번 찾아봅시다. 친구 델람 독일이가 이쪽으로 가겠지? 왠지 여기 있을 것 같은데. 다이오니아, 카니보로스, 카들리나 이네브리아, 플로렌 디아볼리카, 크로몰레나 오도나타, 버너스 세로티나, 헬리암포스 테퓨이스, 비블리스 젠니시아, 바이올라키아, 달링토니아, 카코카스.
That is not
동민아리
the one I need.
범죄형, 무술, 기호미 상징. 아, 동물 악역이 있을 것 같았었는데. 신문 아니고 국가사전, 예술, 경제, 공학, 역사, 약학, 신가. 있다. 다이오니아 카니보. 잠시만, 이거 본 것 같은데. 다이오니아 카니보로스, 카들리나 이네브리아. 다 있는 것 같은데.
Here it is.
그 다음에 상표. 이거는 동물, 중동의 상징, 범죄, 무술, 기호미 상징. 여기서 봐야겠다.
That is not the
준비력 상징.
That is not the one I need.
원예용품 공급처. 이거 아닐까? 세이모 원예용품점. 목초지 및 정원, 산림시한 물품들 판매하는 전문 공급처. 런던 브리튼 3분가.
Here it is.
여기서 누가 사갔냐도 체크해 봐야겠네요. 이 정도면 된 것 같고, 여기서 다시 왕립신문으로 가면서 추리를 합시다. 중독사강 맹독신문 두 개를 해서 사대범은 훔쳐간 도둑이다. 도둑과 사대범. 중독사. 몬테기도는 중독되었다. 좋아요. 일단 요거 2개밖에 없는데 자, 그럼 다시 이 친구들하고 얘기를 해봐야겠네요. 이제 좀 더 얘기할 게 많이 늘었겠죠. 잠시만요. 아, 이거 처치 곤란하네. 이거 한 번씩 왠지 느낌이 얘가 전력을 많이 먹어서 그런 것 같다. 이걸 끄고 비어있는 식민지
Mr.
식물관.
Hamish, can you explain to us what happened to the colonial collection? It seems somewhat depleted.
But, most likely maintenance work, tidying up.
아, 지워둔 게
You're
아니고.
not sure then? But you're the deputy director.
Well, I am busy. I cannot be everywhere at once.
그게 사소한 거야?
As deputy director, how is
원장
your
부원장
relationship with Montague Dunn?
이니까
To
친했을
be
리
honest with you, Mr. Holmes,
안
it
좋았구나.
could have been better. You see, every Tuesday he would carry out his inspection of the gardens, but it was solely to make an impression, great pretense that he cared at all. He would give out absurd orders, ignoring anyone else's opinion. He would then disappear for the rest of the week. He was what some might call a man of action. I'd say rather he was overzealous and chaotic. So after all, it was no wonder, perhaps, that he ended up like that. If you take into consideration his kind of
관계도 별로 안
lifestyle.
좋았네.
You mentioned that Mr. Dunn led a particular lifestyle.
Well, it's no secret that he enjoyed, celebrating, shall we say? He was a member of the London Smart Set. He was famous for it. That
And
he had an eye for the ladies, to put it mildly, Mr. Holmes.
Mr. Hamish, can you tell us who holds the keys to the locked greenhouses?
That would be Albert, Mr. Dunn's son. Yes, Albert keeps all the keys, and one can only imagine why.
What do you mean?
Well, he was never interested in Kew Gardens before, and now all of a sudden he's trying to act as if he owns the place. I think he wants to take over the management here. He'd do better to leave that to me. He has no experience. No, none at all.
What is your opinion of Albert as a student of botany?
He's useless. I often tell him so, and I can only give him cleaning tasks. Botany is not his life's work, and his father well knew it. He was furious about it.
원장조차.
He was.
Oh yes, he forced his son to work here, and he never missed an opportunity to criticize him publicly.
그럴 리가 있나?
Are you able to elaborate on that?
Well, for example, with our last exhibition here, Mr. Dunn had Albert make a presentation speech. But then, while the lad was speaking, Mr. Dunn interrupted him, asking him difficult questions, making him look like a failure. It was with the intention of making a fool of him, Mr. Holmes.
That must have been terribly humiliating.
Yes, he was crushed, and he had to leave. Everybody was making fun of poor Albert. That is, except for Miss Margaret White, who is such a nice lady and who always takes pity on Albert.
마가렛 화이트.
You
누구야?
mentioned a Miss White. Would you tell us more about her?
She is a student who works here part-time. She is quite charming indeed. She possesses a great talent for botany.
비정규직이 한 명 더 있네.
You should take a look at some of her experiments that she carried out in the laboratory. Ah, if only she were not so naive.
Why naive?
The way she used to flutter around Mr. Montague Dunn. And why, he couldn't help but be flattered by all her attention. How could an intelligent woman such as Miss White not see through his game? I can only scratch my head and wonder.
Tell me, Mr. Hamish, do you grow the more deadly variety of plant here?
You mean insectivorous? Yes, but nothing larger than that.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
What?
맹독식물에 관한 정보. 화학 발현은 복잡하며 자연스러운 제거과 영양분이 필요하다. 애벌레를 이용해. 애벌레라. 그럼 당연히 아들은 아니겠네. 아들은 이쪽에 지식이 무지하니까. 얘는 어딨지? 얘가 아까 나가자마자 우리가 만났잖아요? 있었나?
According to...
아닌데. 쪽이 아니고. 이쪽이 아니야. 여기 있었나 보다. 어디 있었지? 아하, 길을 모르겠네요. 보통 애들 잘 안 움직이는데. 지금 잘 안 움직이는 애들 뭐 잡고 있는 거야? 여기 있구나. 아까 왜 못 만났지?
Who is Miss Margaret White?
Ah, she is the young lady who studies with me.
문수학.
She visits me sometimes to help out with the greenhouses. In fact, she should be here today. She wanted to work at the seed house. That's the small greenhouse across from the large glass house.
종자부가지 있네요.
We noticed that a part of the colonial collection has been cleared.
Ah, at the moment I'm just dealing with the storage room. I don't know much about the other rooms.
비분피에서 뭐 했어?
I imagine that your relationship with your father may have been a strained one.
Yes. I cannot say that he was a kind man, for he never listened to me at all. He forced me to
강제로
work here. But now, after his death, I've been pondering it over. Perhaps he wasn't so wrong about me after all. I have to follow his path. I have to manage Kew Gardens. And I can do it. I can be as good as any other who works
다른
here.
사람도 별로 기대 안 하던데.
Would you please tell us about Martin Hamish, the deputy director?
Well, I have to tell you that Mr. Hamish is not and has never been the deputy
서울시라네요.
director of Kew Gardens. My father would not have tolerated it.
Indeed? That is most interesting. He told us that he was.
Yes, because he believes that the management should be passed down to him now that my father is dead. But in actual fact, Mr. Hamish only has the honour of being the garden's longest-serving employee. In fact, if we are to think logically at all, it should be me who takes over the management of Kew Gardens.
Do you not have a good relationship with Mr. Hamish?
I suppose so. But we have very little in common. Mr. Hamish loves his plants and Kew Gardens, and I cannot say that I share his passion.
I see. And how was his relationship with your father?
Oh, he hated my father. It was obvious. He would be furious whenever my father boasted of Kew Gardens in the newspapers or at conferences. He was convinced that my father was stealing all of the credit for himself. That my father treated Mr. Hamish in the same way as he treated anyone. Dismissively. With indifference.
Do you hold the keys to all of these locked doors?
Yes, you can have them. But I cannot give you the keys to the cloakroom.
음,
The employees' effects are private. I am sure you understand.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
야심에 어디 그 야심 왜 켜진 거야? 자, 그러면 그 여자를 만나 가볼까요? 종자 보관실에 있다 했죠.
We can see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room from this window.
갑자기 업무용 책상.
A thesis written by Martin Hamish. A glasses case. It is empty. This area serves as Martin Hamish's office.
원장은 그거구나.
A master's degree diploma. It belongs to Martin Hamish. An award presented to Martin Hamish for Best Grower of the Year.
이 사람 그래도 경력이 좀 괜찮네.
These young plants must be delicate if they are kept in the nursery.
별게 없네요. 나도 있을 거라 생각했는데. 여기도
The
물장이야?
seeds of plant species are stored here.
아, 여기구나. 그 여자 어디 갔어? 그러고 보면 종자 보관실 마가리 화이트 만나십시오. 아까 대화 중에 말이지. 알부터 화이트. 아, 이때 화이트 얘기가 나왔구나.
Locked.
낙이야. 열렸구만. 어?
Look, Holmes, this charming lady must be Miss White. She's entering the seed house.
오케이. 아까는 이기는 정말 같지. 종자 보관실이 여기죠.
Open.
헬로. 일단 이 여자분하고 얘기 먼저 해야 되네.
Good day to you, miss. You have some very beautiful plants here.
Why, thank you, sir. And good day to you too. But
Oh, I do beg your pardon. My name is Dr. John Watson. This is my good friend, Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
I am honored to make your acquaintance,
아,
gentlemen.
역시 셜록 홈즈
My
유명하네요.
name is Margaret White. Excuse me, but are you Sherlock Holmes, the great detective?
Yes, I am he.
아, 예스.
What a pleasure to see you here at Kew Gardens. Are you working on a case?
인상이 조금 차갑다. 값비싼 향수. 대학생이 돈이 있어서 붉은 반점 영양실조. 헬라거든요. 가난한 집안. 근데 향수는 비싼 거 쓴다. 벨트 이런 건 보이고 잘 안 보이네요. 이혼.
Yes, a theft of plants that took place here a few days ago after their most recent exhibition.
Oh, yes, of course. I quite forgot about that.
이거 있어.
Oh, it's quite understandable that you might forget about the theft of the plants,
그치.
Miss, after the tragedy that took place here.
Yes. The director was a truly good man.
그래?
It is such a terrible misfortune.
다들 별로 안 좋다던데.
Would you happen to know why part of the colonial collection was cleared?
No, I have never been there.
그래?
Do you work here?
Part-time only. I am a biology student at the London University. I attend the same classes as the son of Mr. Montague Dunn. That is how I found my chance to work here for part of my thesis, you see. It is a great honor.
How well did you know Mr. Montague Dunn?
He was a master, a great leader. I saw him almost as a spiritual father.
He had an exceptional nature?
Oh yes, indeed. He was always so active
친절했다고?
and so
여자라서
optimistic,
그런가?
and very nice to me. Although he could behave harshly towards his son.
Why so?
He loved his son dearly and wanted the very best for him. It made him extremely demanding. Albert, who is naturally shy, suffered because of it.
Most of the doors in Kew Gardens are locked. Do you have a key to this room?
Oh, yes. Albert gave me a set of duplicate keys. He agreed I might carry out my studies without disturbing him. It is only temporary.
배신 안녕하세요.
None of the
셜록
three people
홈즈.
who work at Kew Gardens know why half of the colonial
저도
collection
파이브하고
was cleared.
있습니다.
So, someone is lying. It is obvious.
그러니까 거짓말하고 있는 애들이 있어.
From here, we are unable to see the interior of the colonial collection room. Materials for college study. They belong to
알부터네.
Albert.
Third class.
These leather gloves are new and of good quality. They do not appear to have been used. This place serves as Albert's office.
여기 알버트
Talk
던전이고.
about ships. Nothing at all to do with plants.
얘는 원래 식물 쪽을 하는 애가 아니었죠. 그래서 저런 게 있는지도. 창문을 다 열고 닫을 수 있네. 이게 종자 보관실이고. 종자 보관실 갔고, 이거는 뭐 밖에서 되고, 여기 갔었고요. 너스리 갔었고, 여기는 안 갔었는데 사무차 한번 가볼까? 지금 이 식물관에서 원장님이 죽었습니다. 근데 죽었는데 그냥 살인이 아니, 그냥 죽은 게 아니라 타산에 의해서 죽은 것 같다고 지금 셜록 홈즈가 조사를 하고 있습니다.
This is a table for experiments. It resembles my own.
Only this one is kept in good order, Holmes.
There was a bottle here. It left behind a trace of the substance that pervaded the laboratory.
옆에도 있고.
Several drops of the substance were spilled. Someone carried this bottle around. Several drops of the...
Gold dust? Good heavens. What's it doing here?
The gold is almost immune to chemical attacks, so it may be a valuable auxiliary for various experiments.
But
저
why
몰랐네.
would anyone perform such experiments in a botanical garden?
The bottle is no longer here, but it is possible to detect
Oh.
a faint
우리의
scent.
토비가
We need a good nose.
도화약할 순간인가봐요. 토비를 내려와라. 하기 전에 할 수 있는 거 다 보고 가자.
A botany book. This student's book belongs to Albert. The employee...
지원실은 안 열린다 했지.
Holmes, Albert
It does.
아, 그냥 따네요. 일단 여기서 방향을 잡고 시작해서 이렇게. 잠깐만. 이게 맞겠네. 응? 안쪽에 뭐가 또 있군요, 이게. 어? 아, 이런 거였어? 아, 저 화살표 표시가 그건 화살표 표시였구나. 얘는 안 움직이고. 잠깐만. 아, 이것도 움직이고. 제가 생각했던 거랑 좀 다르네요. 일단 요렇게, 요렇게 할 거고. 됐네.
Open.
이럴 거면 열쇠 왜 받은 거야? 점수 다 따고 들어가지, 그냥.
Miss White's locker.
하이, 여자 사무라고.
These jewels must be worth a
얘
small
가난한
fortune.
집안인데.
A vanity purse. It is of high quality.
얘는 이걸 어떻게 가졌지? 우리가 이런 큰 고생을 수민이 도는 사람하고 많은 생각이 드느냐. 방 안에 왠지 뭔가 좀 방사하게 사둔 것 같다. 원장하고 그 섬 사이가 아니었을까? 재정적인 문제 때문에 심리가 크다. 아? 야, 알버트가 또 이런 짓을 하고 있었네.
Apparently, Miss White is a capable student.
디플로마.
A draft of the letter that Miss White sent to her parents.
편지 초안인데 왜 안 보여줘?
Martin Hamish's locker. Martin Hamish studied chemistry.
과학 전공, 식문학이 아니고.
Interesting.
그, 서 기장님께
A review on rare and exotic plants. Martin Hamish has written several pieces.
그런데 마틴 헤미시가 꼭 써있네.
Father and I, Kew Gardens.
알고튼가?
Albert's Locker. Specialist articles on shipyards and ship
얘는
construction.
해양 쪽에
Albert
관심이 있었고,
One has a great passion for shipbuilding and the sea.
그러니까.
A rejection letter from the British Royal
아,
Naval
떨어졌구나.
College.
아. 아, 아쉽네. 합격을 했는데도 불구하고, 아버지 때문에. 아, T.
A picture of Miss White and Albert in front of the University of London.
둘이 사이가 좋아 보이는데?
To get along.
그니까.
Such masks are generally worn when dealing with toxic chemicals. It appears as though the protective equipment is missing from here.
누가 뭘 가져가? 보호장비를 왜 가져가? 거기에 대한 얘기는 왜 아니죠?
Gloves, waterproof aprons, everything one might need for self-protection.
Do they grow dangerous plants here?
그렇겠지. 일단 토비를 한번 데려와 보긴 와봐야겠어요. 신문하기. 토비 데리러 가자. 이거는 이건 뭐 아무 관계 없을 것 같은데. 이것도 마찬가지 관계 없고.
A map of London and the surrounding area. It could be useful.
토비?
Come on, Toby. We have some work for you to do. Let us go to Kew Gardens.
강아지랑 같이 가네요. 오케이.
Let us take Toby to the laboratory. He will pick up the scent of this mysterious substance.
연구실이야.
Search, Toby. Search.
이 순간만큼은 제가 강아지를 조종합니다. 문도 열 수 있는 개예요. 과연 뭐가 나올까?
Congratulations, Toby. Now let us see what you have found. This is the bottle that was used in the laboratory. It was buried here. There is still some liquid remaining in the bottle,
금박도
with
있고.
gold flakes. A tiny caterpillar. Not surprising to see one in a garden, but at the bottom of a bottle.
이 정도는 능통하려면은 지금 부원장 아니면은 여자인데. 근데 여자애가 그렇게 원장을 잡았을 것 같진 않고. 여기는 도청하고네. 신부원장 방이구나. 응? 그렇군. 이렇게 해서 다 올려내나봐요. 몇 개째지? 3개구나. 대칭인가? 그럼 여기도 3개? 좌우 대칭이네. 참깨실이. 아무 설명도 없는 포즈가 나와서 되게 놀랐어요. 금고. 편지가 있고. 변호에서 왕국의 비호를 받고 있다. 보고가 뭐가 있다. 신성경비한 조직은 이기심을 소유할 권리가 없다. 1889년 6월 14일 사건. 신성연구회부터 무슨 신문을 뺏거나 했는 거네요. 그건 같은데? 단원서. 빌려간 신문들 돌려놔라. 1889년 6월 14일 사건도 그때도 올리는 게 거짓말을 했다. 신성연구회. 신성연구회하고 좀 알력이 있네요. 마찰이 있네요.
I suggest that we don't tell Miss Margaret White about this document.
야, 그걸 보여줘야지. 이인실? 누구한테 얘기하지 마, 저거. 알버트.
What?
약간 이 아저씨가 여자한테 뭔가 좀 많이 해줬네요. 이 여자는 여기 아빠와 아들 둘 다 약간씩 이혼, 뭐 대놓고는 아니지만 어느 정도 좀 이용을 하고 있었고.
Newspapers discussing Kew Gardens.
새로운 신문 좀 발생. 자생시킨대. 마틴 햄신 능력이 있네. 아, 몬테기 던하고는 부하가 있었고. 다 먹은 거야?
Champagne. Montague Dunn had good taste. French wine. A remarkable vintage.
이건 술코대였죠.
A photograph of Montague Dunn and Reynold Hamish. A photo.
마티니 씨. 아, 혼자 붙이했나봐. 그러면 이제 해야 될 게, 이거는 분석해야 되고. 서재 확인해서, 1889년 6월 14일 사건 알아가지고. 그러면은, 다시 돌아가자. 마가다 화이트의 불화와 몬테규던. 내쫓고 싶어 했다. 내쫓고 싶어 했는데 딱 타이밍 좋게 죽었네. 과한 금액을 제공했다. 이건 광격수 같은데. 몬테기는에서 학비밀 생활비를 지원받고 있었다. 그쵸. 나머지는 관계가 없네요. 한번 찾아볼까? 이건 신문 쪽에 있을 것 같은데. 1889년 6월 14일 89년
That is not the one I need.
이건가?
That is
아,
not the one
이거구나.
I need.
신성연구회. 신성연구회 트이완에서 그냥 나오는 신문 자체는 행정조사를 받고 있고요. 탈세 혐의. 수장들이 탈세 혐의를 받고 있는데
Here it is. And here is the Divine Syndicate's address. Perfect. It is time to find out what they have against Montague Dunn.
확인. 그리고 여기서 또 분석할 게 있잖아.
Let us determine just what we have found here. Let us pour liquid from the bottle into a test tube to perform an analysis. This is the bottle that we found.
여기에 매달아서
A colorless, water-based liquid. Quite a strong floral aroma.
꽃향기.
Holmes,
어?
what are you doing?
It has a bitter taste.
이자.
What if it's poisonous?
Did you ever see poison stored in enormous jars like that? Anyway, there is a doctor nearby.
So what do you think it is?
It is some kind of organic compound. Let us vaporize the liquid and see what happens.
처음부터 증발시키는 게 낫지 않았어?
Small colorless crystals. Colorless, tiny crystals that are soluble in water, with a floral smell and a bitter
이것도 끄고
taste.
싶다.
Watson, could you pass me that small bottle, please?
Of course. Here you are. Holmes, do you know what it is?
Wagner's reagent. There was a label on the bottle that you passed to me.
No, Holmes, I meant the bottle that we found.
Let me add the reagent and see if there is any sediment, and then I shall tell you. I need to take a pipette and make several drops of the reagent.
어? 여기 해야 되는 거 아니야?
Red sediment.
예상대로.
Just as I suspected. This liquid is of organic origin. It contains some alkaloid. Most likely it is unstable, and that is why there is a quantity of gold dust to prevent contamination. This mixture is probably a fertilizer. Someone was carrying
암용
out
통치약이라고?
unusual experiments in the garden's laboratory.
일단 그럼 신성경물 먼저 가보자. 여긴 지금 할 게 없네요. 잠시만요.
This place is beautiful, Holmes. Its atmosphere is remarkably soothing.
Let us find someone who could help us.
도와줄 만한 사람이 어디 있으려나? 어?
The Kew Gardens symbol.
이거 왜 여기 있지? 아까 이쪽에 누가 있지 않았니? 밖에 태국권 같은 거 하시는 분. 구두. 보통 구두라고 하면 그쪽에 대가라든가 뭐 마스터 이런 거.
I am exalting the sap. A while can you wait? From the trace of elements and moreover from the quality of the ambient geotropism it depends. Therefore, please, mind my gravitropism. Its balance, do not disturb.
Disturbed is most definitely the word.
There. Completed is the symbiosis. Welcome you are. To introduce myself I shall. I am the Green Grand Mystic.
The Green Grand Mystic himself.
This is me. Who am I speaking to?
We are two gentlemen who are extremely interested in the vegetation philosophy that is advocated by this establishment.
Listening to you, I am.
일단 저 목에 문신 신경 쓰이는구만. 중국풍이네요. 응? 화학적 소양도 있고. 상해.
We should like to take a look around, to immerse ourselves in the wisdom that emanates from here.
It is a school of anastomosis, the divine scholastic syndicate for vegetation veneration and meditation. You may say, the divine syndicate, glory to the eukaryotic. Only true devotees, those whose hearts are ready to spermatophize in sharing of knowledge, are permitted to physically enter our vegetable kingdom and its wisdom. And to be permitted, you must earn it. Yes.
Do you have friends at Kew Gardens?
None. Not worthy there.
그래?
Nevertheless, we have seen Kew Gardens flower pots in your yard. How could they happen to be there?
What? Our sacred place you permitted yourself to search?
아닌데?
Sacrilege.
No, really now. There was a theft of plants at Kew Gardens a matter of days ago, and we believe the pots we found here may be connected with it. Please tell us, were you involved?
No. Those plants were ours. They had stolen them from us.
How so?
Their director, Dump, I believe.
뭔?
Done.
Yes, that's what I said. He borrowed from us 3 of our sisters for the exhibition at his green fly-infested gardens. But he never gave them back to us. Excuses and imbecility. So we went in and saved them.
I see. So, if you stole those rare plants from them, then it means... Ah, I get it. Bravo, Holmes. I think the case is solved.
No, we did not steal. We saved. Well, as a matter of fact, we were unable to find our
못 봤다고?
I beg your pardon. And yet you took all of the exotic plants from the stand.
They had disappeared. It was the least we could do. They stole our sisters, and so we stole theirs.
준비는 뭐야?
Green Grand Mystic, we
Oh.
are ready to become devotees
준비 안 되네.
and gain access to your temple.
What is the name of our Lord?
아 잠깐만. 몰라.
Our God King?
특이한. 이건 알아.
Our God King's name is Trewan, Green Grand Mystic.
Oh la, good, I like you. Here is the holy key to the wisdom place. Holy donation can you make whenever you so wish.
성공을 하는 얘기죠.
Thank you so much.
I pray you to taste our fertilizer substance. From the burdens of life it helps to free.
But of course.
Raw sap, it is called. It is near the entrance.
여기는 먼저 했어야 되나?
Well, we will leave you to your meditation.
입구 근처에 있는 망명통 지하. 입구 근처에는 나가는 거. 그 입구가 아닌가? 일단 그럼 여기 한번 들어가 봅시다. 여기도 식물이 꽤 있네요.
That should be the raw sap that the green
이걸
Grand
먼저 했어야
Mystic
되는구나.
spoke of. It is rather delicious and of an excellent quality.
My word, Holmes. Their sap is like a form of cocaine.
마약이구나.
This must be Trewan, the Divine Syndicate's god.
Praise the grand tree. Praise it.
Caterpillars. They are raised as food for certain plants. Let's take them.
다 가져가네요. 한두 개 가져갈 줄 알았지.
A tropical plant. Nothing of interest.
알라스마 기간티카.
A tropical plant. Nothing of interest.
어?
These 3 plants are identical to the ones shown at the exhibition. I shall take them.
다 가져가네요. 바위 비밀을 밝혀라. 완료.
A tropical plant. Nothing of interest. A tropical plant. Nothing of interest.
왜 조사 안 했니?
A tropical. A trop.
나폴레시아. 나폴레시아는 이토이 건담에도 나오긴 하는데.
This door is locked, but I can try to open it.
다 열고 다녀. 일단 이런 거 나오면 바깥쪽에 있는 아, 또 이게 되는구나. 요걸 기준으로 얘도 마찬가지겠죠? 여기 단지 또 있는지는 일단 것 같다. 이렇게 있고 저기가 저러니까 아 이것도 되는구나. 이게 이렇게 있고 일단 얘가 먼저 여기랑 맞아 떨어져야 이렇게 같다. 또 그럼 얘가 여기 뭐 적절한데 들어가면 되는 거잖아요. 어? 중간에 뭐 큰 게 있나? 이거 같은데? 잠겨져 있으니까 뭔가 더 좋은 게 있겠지.
A vast amount of opium. These instruments are used for.
그 아편 때문에 잠가는 거야?
That would be enough to perform the
뼈인데 뭐가 있지 않을까?
This substance is an alkaloid, the same as in the bottle we found in the bushes at Kew Gardens. Chemicals, a sufficient quantity for some serious experiments.
아 여기 아편 소금이네. 겉으로는 뭐 뒤에 해도 속은 아편 소금이네요. 가면 되나? 화학시험에 숨기는 사람 믿기 힘들겠지만 자 그러면은 다시 직능으로 가서 좀 더 찾아봅시다. 진성연구회 소속 도둑 신성용보다 도둑이다. 행독신문은 신성연구에서 범행을 저질렀다. 일단 수상을 계속할게요. 시험을 진행하다. 연구실에서 발견한 심성 연기와 벽을 이용하여 맹독신문에 관한 시험을 진행하다. 처음에 그런 말이 있었죠. 좋아요.
Perfect.
시험을 진행하긴 하는데 20쪽으로 왔어. 이 얘기는 한 번 더 해볼까?
Mr. Hamish, was someone from your family connected with Kew Gardens?
Family? No. I'm the only one
어,
with a
왜
passion for
거짓말을?
botany.
I do not think so. This photograph of you and your father at Kew Gardens suggests the opposite.
But you have no right to.
Do tell us more about your father.
He was, indeed, the greatest botanist of his time in the British Empire. He worked together with Montague Dunn until the end of his life. He brought me in at the age of 12.
Did he get on well with Mr. Dunn?
No, I couldn't say that. They expanded Kew Gardens together, that was all. And it was all my father's work, for Dunn always lived the high life.
So Mr. Dunn was not helping your father?
Oh, yes, he provided the financial support. And as far as he was concerned, that fulfilled his role. But the worst of it was, he declared himself as the master of Kew Gardens. Fame meant nothing to my father, so it was easy for Mr. Dunn to take all the credit.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
알 못하고 얘기를 해야겠네요.
I perceive that you are passionate about the Royal Navy.
Passionate? No, not really. I like ships, that is all.
I'm
거짓말이요.
quite sure. You do not seem to be so interested in plants.
It's difficult, that's all. My future is here. It has never been about anything else.
And yet I know that the Royal Naval College rejected your application.
Ah, you truly are as clever as they say. Yes, that's correct. And in fact, my father was strongly against the idea. He did his best to ruin my plans, although I almost did succeed. But my dreams were shattered, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
이제 분석을 해야 되니까 집에 가자. 그동안에 얘는 동기가 있어. 알고도 동기가 있지. 자, 그럼 여기서 이제 다시 맹독
I imagine that
샴심을
one of these
해봅시다.
plants would be capable of releasing a toxic vapor. I need to find out exactly how it could be done.
음.
I shall begin now. Watson, if you are at all optimistic to have dinner this evening, then I'd recommend that you put on the gas mask. My word. It shot a spike at me after I stabbed it with a pin. I imagined that its reaction would be ferocious if I increased the strength of my attack. It appears to have fallen inactive after being disturbed.
이게 아무 반응이 없다고?
It appears to have no reaction. This plant becomes inactive after being drenched with alkaloid.
오케이.
This plant
이거를 여기에 썼고.
How interesting. What a strong and effective defensive mechanism. It
이건 아까 했고. 그러면은
a prickly, a carniv. This is a strange and this plant seems to have had no reaction. This plant.
이게 때문에 안 돼.
I find the behavior of pred.
아야야야 이거 아니야.
This plant becomes inactive after being drenched with alkaloid.
잠깐만. 얘는 반응이 있었나?
It appears to open after being soaked with alkaloid.
아 맞다, 제가 있었지.
It closed again. I believe I saw a small cloud of gas. I wonder what secrets this plant is hiding. Perhaps if we agitate it to a greater extent whilst it is opened, it will reveal a little more. I am interested in what might occur if the prickly plant should shoot at it. This plant seems...
그러면은 잎을 벌리게 하고
It
식물을
appears
이렇게
to open after being soaked with alkaloid. Toxic gas with spores. Extraordinary. The plants would be capable of killing only if they were directly next to the victim and stimulated at precisely the right moment.
Let us take our caterpillars to the Colonial Collection Room. We may see things more clearly there.
It is too early, Watson. Our suspects will be there. Let us investigate Kew Gardens one more time and ask some questions.
큐 왕국을 수색하라. 그동안에 수색하는 동안에 치밀한 게 이렇게 치밀하게 하려면은 관련이 없다가 낫지 않을까? 이렇게 하면 이거하고는 어떻게 되냐? 이렇게 해버리면 그냥 이게 다네요. 이렇게 하면 마가의 화이트가 되겠지. 살상할 뻔한 그런 건 아직 잘 모르겠어. 얘는 아니야. 이렇게 하면 알버트 던으로 되겠지? 제가 봤을 때 알버트 던은 경험이 부족하고요. 마가렛 화이트는 배경 지식은 있어요. 좀 더 있었죠. 자, 그럼 이제 얘기해야 될 게 모든 용의자들과 대화를 나누십시오. 그러면은 여기도 여기지만 여기도 가야 되나? 아니, 그나저나 왜 내 폰 우리 집 와이파이가 연결이 안 되냐? 자, 이 친구하고도 얘기를 해봐야겠네요.
Follow my path.
아니, 관계가 없잖아. 괜히 갔네요. 이거 로딩만 좀 빨리 나오면 더 좋을 것 같은데. 로딩이 늦어. 다 좋은데 로딩이 늦어.
Can you tell me if you saw Mr. Montague Dunn on the day of his death?
Yes, of course. I met him, and we went to see Albert, his
아,
son, at
사실
around
로딩을
9:30.
잘못하면.
He appeared quite calm.
What were you doing on the morning of the accident?
After paying multiple visits to Albert, I had a little talk with Miss White. Then I returned to my desk to complete some paperwork. Suddenly I observed that Mr. Dunn was not feeling well, so I ran immediately to fetch Albert. I clearly remember that it was around 10:30, for I was late that morning.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation. Your father's death does seem highly suspicious. What were your movements here on that day?
Suspicious. Well, I was working in the seed house, taking care of Lysa something, or Lear Pontus.
아, 얘는 진짜 지식이 없어서 식물로 죽일 수 있는 애
Latin
아니야.
names. And I spend so many hours trying to memorize them.
Did you see your father that day?
Yes, he came here with Mr. Hamish for his weekly visit. There was nothing unusual about that.
And then?
Nothing. They stepped out to the backyard. It was perhaps 20 minutes before 10 o'clock. Then about 10 minutes later, I saw my father heading for the dry tropics room while Mr. Hamish returned here.
And Mr. Hamish and Miss White, what were they both doing that morning?
Mr. Hamish visited me a couple of times. I also saw him returning from talking with Miss White, and that was at 10 minutes past 10. But then he ran back here to me to tell me that my father was feeling unwell. We hurried across to the water lily room, and I found my father lying dead on the floor. Oh my God.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
종작 의식이가 여기였나? 여기 묘목교. 젠장.
Can you tell me what Mr. Dunn was doing upon the day of his death?
I can, but there is nothing very special to say. I was in the laboratory when I
연구실에서
saw Mr.
원장님과
Dunn heading
마주쳤고.
towards me. Tuesday is the day of his weekly visit. It was supposed to be at 9, but he was 10 minutes late, as usual.
10분 늦었고.
And then?
Well, he came in to say good morning. Then I saw him spend 2 or 3 minutes by the
외곽이
plants
신문이죠.
outside the laboratory. After that, he ran out in the direction of the nursery, where Mr.
달려갔다고?
Hamish was working. He was always in a rush during the inspection, you see.
뛰어다녔다.
I would pity anyone who stood in his way.
And that was the last time you saw him?
Yes. I stayed in the laboratory until 20 minutes to 11, when I heard the cries of Albert and Mr. Hamish from the large glass house.
I joined them as soon as I could, for I knew that something must be very wrong.
What exactly were you doing in the laboratory?
I was recording an experiment for my thesis. I only stopped my work once when Mr. Hamish visited me briefly around 10 o'clock.
You say you were recording an experiment when the tragedy occurred. Might I listen to the roll?
Oh, certainly. Please do. You will find it in the laboratory. It is number 320.
320번.
Thank you, miss.
Everyone has gone, Holmes. The way is clear.
밤이야? 맹독심 저하시키는 거. 연구실로 가야 했는데. 야, 잠깐만. 응?
According to this, they have light and moisture
일단 이게 중요한 게 아니고 320번 먼저 들어보자. 근데 연구실이 어디지? 연구실 320번. 연구실이 어디야? 라보레토리. 아, 이쪽. 그럼 여기잖아. 맞나? 덱터 오피스고, 그럼 여기 옆이 라보레토리. 덱터 오피스. 클로크로 라보레토리. 일단 이게 맞네. 여기서 320번. 이거 같은데. 전화번호 뭐가 더 되네요. 그냥 일단 320번 먼저 듣자. 여기 순서 맞는 것 같다.
Yes, this is quite a modern laboratory. I don't hear anything.
이건 아닌데?
Martin Hamish's perception of plants. The notion of communication in the plant world has long been considered marginal, yet I remain convinced that some plants do indeed transmit chemical signals in the event of attack.
A study report by Martin Hamish.
And it seems clear from these multiple experiments that plants do respond to their environment and have a form of consciousness. Margaret White, February 1895. Report number 245.
Study report.
320번 어디 있을 것 같은데.
Here it
그리고
is. Cylinder.
These plants, classified as shrubs or grasses, have adapted to their arid environment due to a system of underground roots.
This recording seems very long. It is unnecessary to listen to all of it. Miss White was in the laboratory, as she told us.
연구실에 있었다.
Chemicals. A sufficient quantity for some serious experiments.
아까는 이런 게 안 됐었는데. 대리석. 대리석이 열쇠일 것 같은데, 어쩌다 대리석은 아직 그 쓰임새를 못 찾았네요. 뭐를 놓쳤지 않았을까? 증거품 일부를. 있을 것 같은데. 여기에 대리석이 있을 만한 데가 아니면은 쪽에 대리석이 있을 만한 데가
These plants come from all the territories of the British Empire.
근데 이걸 이렇게 알려면은 여기에 뭐 책상에 있었다는 증거라던가 이런 게 발견이 돼야지. 그냥 역정 이거를
When Montague Dunn was standing close by the plants, the caterpillars were released and caused the deadly spores to activate. Panicking, and likely already half asphyxiated, Montague Dunn started back and knocked
흉상에
over the
대한
bust.
저게 아무것도
He
없었는데.
rushed to the door, but it was locked. He had to force it open with his shoulder. We already know the outcome. Montague Dunn collapsed
뭔가 중간에
and
몸
died
건너뛴 것 같다.
not far from the pool. Well, it is time to perform our experiment on the ventilation system.
여기에 흉상이 있었다는 건 어떻게 하는 거야? 증거가 아직 다
The caterpillars could only fall from the ventilation duct. Our caterpillars are in place. I'll activate the ventilation system so that they fall down. Watson, stay here and observe.
All right, Holmes.
These windows were perfectly cleaned.
이런 건 조사를 다 했는데 이거에 대해서는 조사가 안 됐는데 말이죠.
We have to.
환기장치 거기 나가야 되죠. 아, 이건가? 저건데 이렇게 가야 되나 보다. 장치가 밖에서 보이네요. 저긴데 저기를 통해서 왔네요. 에? 그러면은 문을 몇 개를 지금 통과를? 그냥 아까 막아져 있던데 아니야?
The power is on. The engine cannot be started.
변압기를 끄고
The engine has started. The power is on. The ventilation system is working.
그래, 그러면 저쪽으로 해서 벤틀레이션 시스템이 동작을 하니까 변화가 없나? 변화 없는 것 같지? 왓슨 어떻게 된 거야, 왓슨? 얘기해봐, 왓슨. 왓슨 어때?
Now we need to see if we can activate the fans from Mr. Hamish's and Albert's space.
완전한 뜻인가? 에미씨 알버트. 지금 이게 동작을 했는데. 아,
We can see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room from this window. Excellent. This ventilation fan is working. Let us see if I can activate the other one.
변화가 없네. 뭔가 조작을 좀 더 해야 되나봐요. 여기도 그럼 뭐 저런 조작 장치가 있나?
Perfect. Now I just need to find Watson to check the result.
이거
It worked perfectly, Holmes. Bravo. Now, if you could just help me to get rid of these caterpillars.
Perfect. Now we know how the murder of Montague Dunn was carried out, by activating both Albert's and Mr. Hamish's fans.
But only from Mr. Hamish's workplace would it be possible to see when Montague Dunn entered the Colonial Collection Room.
대리석. 대리석 잘 모르겠네. 그럼 얘도 부족하다고 하고. 어?
Let's go to Scotland Yard.
체포하다고 진짜 이게 맞는 거야? 한계를 지금 덜 푸는데 말이죠. 뭔가 신문을 하겠죠. 그래, 신문을 하겠지. 얘한테 얘기해야 되나?
Inspector, I believe that Martin Hamish is guilty of the murder of Montague Dunn.
Aha! I knew it. I'll send the lads around to arrest him.
Very good. I shall wait to hear from you.
이거는 왜 결론을 제시하고 그런 게 없어? 지금은 추리를 할 것도 없고 그러네요.
Inspector, I came here as quickly as I could.
Martin Hamish is in the large glass house. There's no need to hurry.
완료했다고?
Mr. Martin,
What should...
대형은 마틴 햄시가 있는 거야? 영목장 저기 있나? 없는데. 어디 있는 거야? 집 안에도 없는 것처럼 보였고. 어디 도망간 거야, 이거?
Dry tropics.
갑자기 음악이. 여기서 할 거 다 했지? 또 다 했을 거야, 아마. 저 대리석이 안 풀린 게 조금 마음에 많이 걸리는데요.
According to this, they have
데미지가 안 보인다. 마틴 데미지가 안 보여. 낌새를 하나 차이고 도망갔나?
According to this, they have light and moisture control.
Holmes, my God!
Yes, we found him like that.
Our messing around with the ventilation system didn't go unnoticed. Mr. Hamish realized that we knew.
Inspector, could you arrange the body, please? I should like to examine it.
어디 갑자기?
The mark around the neck is very visible. He died instantly.
아, 이거 왠지 가짜인 것 같은데.
A club foot. Bravo, Watson. That is the key element of
정말.
this case.
아, 아니구나. 일서부터. 경관과 일단 얘기를 나눠보자.
Something about this rings very oddly.
Why do you say that, Mr. Holmes?
Why? Because of Mr. Hamish's club foot. Oh, I deserve to be kicked from here to Charing Cross. I should have noticed it.
But, Mr. Holmes, I can't see why.
No, I don't suppose you do. You must recall that Mr. Dunn was locked inside the Colonial Collection Room by the murderer. If it was Mr. Hamish, he would have had to run up to his workplace to trigger the fan situated above it, taking into consideration the condition of his foot.
Well, it is still possible.
Perhaps, but it is rather strange that such a person as Mr. Hamish decided to base his plan on the
그렇지.
speed of his gait.
You mean to say that somebody helped him?
So the suicide is questionable?
Correct. Mr. Hamish accuses only himself in his letter, and so the investigation stops.
Possibly an accomplice, then? That idea had not occurred to me, Mr. Holmes.
I have another idea, Inspector. Thanks to the testimony that we have collected, we are able to rebuild the events as they took place that day.
With a timeline, such as we did in the Jack the Ripper case.
Precisely.
잭 더 리퍼.
The map
잭 더
of entrance of
리퍼도
Kew
있는
should
걸로
help
알고
us with
있는데
the timeline.
한글로 나오지가 않아서.
Let us analyze the facts and statements so that we may recreate the events of that morning.
9시 30분경 마틴 해미시와 몬테규 경은 종자보관실에서 알버트를 만났다. 그럼 뭐 색깔별로 이렇게 놔둬야 되나? 이렇게? 9시 40분경 마틴 해미시와 몬테규 경은 뒷뜰을 향했다. 10분 후 몬테규더는 열대식 문쪽으로 순회를 계속했고 마틴 해미시는 종자보관실로 돌아왔다. 이 몬테규던, 마틴 해미시 뒷뜰을 향했다. 뒷뜰을 향했다. 10분 후 종자보관실로 돌아왔다. 이렇게. 이걸 다 비춰야 되는 거 아니야? 이렇게. 마틴 해미치는 마가렛 화이트와 10시경이 대화했다. 10시 40분까지 실험실에 있었으며 수상식물관에서 해머시와 알버트를 만났다. 10시의 대화. (10시 30분경) 몬트 알버트 더는 아침 내내 종자보관실에 있었다. 10시 10분경 마가렛 화이트를 만나고 돌아오는 해미시를 목격. (10시 10분에) 얘가 이렇게 있고 지도도 이동하기는 뭐야? 아, 이거구나. 재현하기. 응? 아, 이게 아닌가 보다. 마가렛 화이트와 대화한 후에 종자보관실로 돌아왔다. 여기 있으면 되나? 아니. 돌아오고. 야, 이거 왜 이러냐? 이거 맞아. 뒤뜰을 향했다. 대화한 후니까 얘가 목격을 하려면 열대식물관이 있었다? 열대식물관이 여기잖아요? 다시 해보자. (10시 10분경) 마가렛 화이트를 만나고 돌아오는 헤미시 목격. 10시 10분. 이게 여기 있어요. 근데 식물관 쪽 손을 계속 해보니까 여기 맞지 않나? 일단 이거 여기 안 봐. 이제 여기서 안 되는구나. 그럼 이거 50분 맞아. 여기 맞고. (10분경) 봤다고 하고 돌아왔다고 하고.
Let us summarize. Montague Dunn was poisoned inside the Colonial Collection Room. He forced open the door, which means that someone locked him inside there at 10:20. Martin Hamish was last seen at 10:10. This means that he has approximately 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room. Given that he was club-footed, it is doubtful. Albert also has 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room, which is quite enough time.
근데
Miss
알버트는
White was last seen at 10 o'clock, which means that she had approximately 20 minutes to lock the
알버트는 지식이
door.
없어서 못할 거야.
More than enough time. Perfect, Watson. Now, let us ascertain who assisted Martin Hamish in killing Montague Dunn.
아, 정한 검토 아니고.
Let us summarize. Albert, Miss. Perfect, Watson.
큐광립 식물에서 경감을 만나라. 알버트는 무고하다. 왠지 이거 같은데. 범행을 공모했다. 이렇게 하면 신성경구의 마가렛 화이트, 알버트 던이 범인, 마가렛 화이트는 범인을 공모하고 던 범인 공모. 아, 마가렛 화이트가 범인도 있네. 단서를 다 활용을 했다고 하네요. 일단 마가렛 화이트는 맞는데 이게 단독 범행이냐 공모냐 근데 공모 같아요. 공모를 밝혀내세요. 과연 알버트 던 말고 마가렛 화이트가 공모했다 이걸로 한가 볼까? 살해당할 뻔한 그녀? 아, 근데 아직 한 개를 못했어. 대리석 조각. 대리석 조각을 찾아야 돼.
What should we do next, Holmes?
대리석 조각에 대해서 내가 이거 조사를 못했지. 있을 것 같은데. 대리석 조각 관계는 어떻게? 음. 왜 대리석 조각이 없지? 석상 같은 것도 전혀 안 보이는데 저렇군요. 갑자기 석상이라고 얘기하고. 여긴데요. 아, 이건 제가 어디 못 찾은 게 있네요. 너무 궁금해서 잠깐 석상에 관해서만 도움을 드렸습니다. 여기요? 그걸 몰랐지.
It is a bust. I am curious if the marble that we found...
어디죠?
Here it is. The marble fragment that we...
정보는 일단 다 찾고 그러면 범을 공부했다 이걸 한번 해봅시다.
But Holmes, how can you be certain that we'll find Miss White here?
It is obvious, Watson. Just use your brain.
I am using it. I do use it.
Now that the rope has tightened around Martin Hamish, Miss White must act to erase all traces of her implication. After the suicide of her accomplice, there is one final trace remaining. The deadly plants of the Divine Syndicate. She
공범이라.
will be there.
Very good. Shall we go?
과연
Just one
공범일까?
moment. Now listen to me, Watson. I shall see her alone. You will conceal yourself behind her, quietly.
Whatever are you planning?
Nothing spectacular. The impulses of women have always been a mystery to me. But she is a bold one, and so we must be cautious.
근데
All right.
화이트
You can count on me, Holmes.
Mr. Holmes, good day to you.
You do not seem surprised, Miss White.
Well, I was expecting you.
Not for too long, I believe. So please tell me, as it is still unclear, who planned the murder? Was it you?
You were wrong, Mr. Holmes.
It was Martin Hamish, then. You managed to convince him to take on a more prominent role.
You could not be further from the truth.
You think that you can fool me?
You don't care what I think.
I am not blaming you, Miss White. You are a young and brilliant woman, trapped in a dull and hostile world. Life has never been easy, men in particular.
You... It is hopeless.
Indeed. Well, it may be true that I cannot yet change the world, but I can spare your life.
My life. There is nothing left to save. I have lost everything. Do you hear me? Everything! And you were just like all the others. You would abuse and take advantage of a vulnerable woman.
I hardly think so. Now just listen to me.
I've tried so hard, but I have had enough.
또 권총
Miss White, no!
또 권총 액션.
I beg you not to do this,
뭐 싸우는
Miss
거야?
White.
Don't come any closer.
Please remain calm. We can help you.
Not one step further. Don't try to stop me.
뒤에서 잡으면 되겠네.
Stop this foolishness. You cannot truly want to die.
No, it's too late.
나 눌렀.
This is tragic, Holmes.
do anything?
I'm afraid not. The poison has been fulgurating. Her heart stopped instantly, poor child.
다른 결혼 한번 보겠습니다. 일단 맞긴 맞네.
It was Albert who assisted Martin Hamish with the murder of his father, Montague Dunn, an act of desperation to end years of misery and humiliation.
Poor boy. You're right, Holmes. He was also a victim. He'll live the rest of his life with the death of his father on his conscience.
And that is enough. The case is closed, Watson. We can say officially that Martin Hamish acted alone.
아니 만나지도 않고 그냥 저기 되네. 그러면 이번에는 아예 어느 시점 되니까 이거는 선택을 못하네요. 이것도 안되고 이거는 보면 그때 봤어야 됐네.
But Holmes, how can you be certain that
It is now that after the
Very good.
just one moment.
What?
Nothing spectacular.
All right.
Miss... What?
No. So
You...
it is over, Miss White.
Over. Perhaps... What?
The other side. I beg you not to do this, Miss White.
Don't.
Well done, Watson. She was not faking.
Miss White,
Dr. Watson?
But Holmes,
It is obvious, Watson. You... Well done, Watson. She was not faking.
Miss White, you have no right to take your own life.
Dr. Watson? Did you just save me? Or worse?
Where are you going, Holmes?
네, 이렇게 해서 챕터 5도 끝냈습니다. 자, 그러면 이제 내일이 챕터 6이 되겠네요. 자, 그러면 여러분 내일 밤에 마지막 챕터 같이 살펴보도록 하겠습니다. 지금까지 솔지였습니다. 시청 감사합니다.